Hi students, welcome to yet another session of my class. We are discussing the paper Writings on Contemporary Issues. Today we are going to start our third chapter titled What Secularism Is and Is Not by Romila Thapar. Yes, we are going to start our third chapter. And what is the title of that chapter? What Secularism Is and Is Not by the writer Romila Thapar. Yes, that is, I think all of you are familiar with the term secularism or secular India. Yes, there is a saying that India is a secular country. What is the meaning of it? India is a secular country. How can we explain it? So, secularism in India means equal treatment of all religions by the state. We all know that. What is the peculiarity of our country? It is a, yes, diverse, unity in diversity. That is the peculiarity of India. That is our country. That is unity in diversity. Unity in diversity means we know that there are so many religious beliefs that is existing in our country. And secularism in India means that, or secular India means equal treatment of all religions by the state. And with the 42nd Amendment of the Constitution of India, that is enacted in 1976, the preamble of our Constitution asserted that India is a secular nation. That means neither India's constitution nor its laws define the relationship between religion and state. That means India is termed as a secular state because all the religions in India enjoy equal freedom. No religion dominates the other religion. For this, our constitution has also granted right to freedom of religion. That is, we all have a right to worship. That is a right to freedom of religion. That is the meaning of the term secular India, or India is a secular country. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss in detail regarding the meaning or the significance of the term secularism. According to Romila Thapar, what is secularism and what is not? Yes, what secularism is and is not. Let us discuss in detail what is this chapter about. Yes. Romila Thapar was born in India in 1931 in a well-known Punjab family and spent her childhood in various parts of the country. Yes, she was born in India in 1931 in a well-known Punjab family and spent her childhood in various parts of the country. She did her doctorate at London University in 1958 in history. That is, she got doctorate from London University in 1958 in the subject history. And she has taught ancient Indian history at London University, Delhi University, Jawaharlal Nehru University and Oxford University among others. She has taught her subject, that is ancient Indian history, at so many universities, and she is currently at present, that is she is currently Emerita Professor of History at Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Yes, at present, what is she doing? She is currently Emerita Professor. What is the meaning of the term Emerita Professor? The term emerita or emeritus is an honorary title for professors who want to stay active in teaching scholarship after retirement, that is following retirement. So this term is used to designate a retired chair. So she is currently Emerita Professor of History at JNU, that is Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. So emeritus or emerita, it is an honorary title for professors who want to stay in that position after retirement, that is following retirement. That is the meaning of the term emerita, emerita professor. So she at present, she is an emerita professor of history at Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Then Thapar has an interest in the social and cultural history of ancient India. She has an interest in the social and cultural history of ancient India. Among her publications are, yes, she published so many books. Ashoka and the Decline of the Mauryas, Ancient Indian Social History, some interpretations, From Lineage to State, History and Beyond, Shakuntala Text Readings, Histories and Cultural Past, essays on Indian history, as well as the children's book Indian Tales. All these are the collections by Romila Thapar. Once again, I repeat, please note all these collections because it is important for 1 mark question. Yes, Ashoka and the Decline of the Mauryas, Ancient Indian Social History, some interpretations, From Lineage to State, History and Beyond, Shakuntala Text Readings, Histories and Cultural Past, essays on Indian history, and children's book like Indian Tales. Then this text, that is our chapter, that is third chapter, this text is an extract from the Asghar Ali Engineer Memorial Lecture that Romila Thapar delivered at Jamia Millia Islamia Delhi on 19th August 2015. So our prescribed portion or this chapter, it is an extract or abstract from the Asghar Ali Engineer Memorial Lecture. It is an abstract or extract, not a abstract or extract from the Asghar Ali Engineer Memorial Lecture that she has delivered at Jamia Millia Islamia Delhi on 19th August 2015. Please note that it is important for 1 mark question. In her lecture, she talks about Indian society and the idea of secularism. So in that particular lecture, she talks about Indian society. What is the peculiarity of our country? I already told you, unity in diversity. And she defines Indian secularism. How can we define the term Indian secularism? I already told you. And how can we explain it? That is, India is a secular country. Yes. So she defines clearly in her lecture about Indian secularism and also the colonial view of religion. Colonial view in the sense, what is the meaning of the term colonization? Once we Indians were the colonies of Britishers. Am I right? Yes. That is Britishers were the colonizers and we Indians were the colonized people. So colonization, what is the meaning of that term? What is the meaning of that term, colonization? Simply we can say it is the establishing of colonies. Establishing of colonies in this, it is a process of establishing one's control or dominance over other countries or other group of people. That is the meaning of that particular term, that is colonization. So colonial view of religion, we all know that. That is, sometimes the things are ruled by religion. Sometimes these religious beliefs or the concepts, yes, are trying to exercise their power or control over the social organizations or the laws that is existing in our society. So trying to establish their control or their power over the social organizations. That is the colonial view of religion and its place in Indian history. Yes, in that particular lecture, she talks about Indian society, then idea of secularism, Then she defines Indian secularism and the colonial view of religion and its place in history. What is the role of these religious beliefs or religion in Indian history? And she also explains the importance of sex. Sex here means SECTS, sex. That means a group of people. That is um, this is a group of people with different religious beliefs from a larger group to which they belong. That is the meaning of the term sex. That is SECTS. So she also, in this particular chapter, she also explains about the importance of sex. That is a group of people with different religious beliefs and the arrival of Islam, and finally concludes with her views on the task of secularization. Then finally she concludes her lecture um, with the with her views on the task of secularization. How can we define that term secularization? What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? The action or process of converting something from religious to secular possession or secular use. That is the meaning of the term. That is a process, secularization. That is dissociation or separation or demarcation from religious or spiritual concerns. The task of secularizations, that is clearly divide the two roles, that is a religion on one side and a social organization or other governmental organization on the other side. That is the action or process of converting something from religious to secular possession or to use. Clearly define that division, that separation. So she finally concludes this chapter with her views on the task of secularization. So I think all of you understand about the introductory part of this chapter, what secularism is and is not, and about our writer Romila Thapar. Let us start our chapter. If we want a secular society, then we would have to stop identifying ourselves primarily by religion, caste, or language and start thinking of ourselves primarily as equal citizens of one nation, both in theory and in practice. If we want a secular society, yes, she starts her lecture or this particular chapter with a viewpoint, that is, if we want a secular society, then we would have to stop identifying ourselves primarily by religion, caste, or language. Yes, we all want a secular society that is free from such restrictions, that is the dominance of religious beliefs or something like that. So if we want a secular society, then we would have to stop identifying ourselves primarily by religion, caste, or language. Yes, at present, we all know that. Yes, we are trying to identify ourselves in the name of religion, caste, or language. That is the thing that is going on in our society. And here our author Romila Thapar, she is insisting that if we want a secular society that is free from a particular religious belief or dominance or particular religious dominance or beliefs, if we want a secular society, then we would have to stop identifying ourselves primarily by these things, that is religion, on the basis of religion, caste, or language. And she is insisting here that yes, and start thinking of ourselves primarily as equal citizens of one nation, both in theory and in practice. Yes, she is again insisting that think what? Start thinking. You should start thinking of our yourselves primarily as equal citizens of one nation. You should think that we all are equal. We all are equal citizens of one nation. We should think like that, both in theory and in practice, that is both in words and in action. That is the first thing she is trying to insist here. For what? If we want a secular society, first we should stop identifying ourselves by religion, caste or language and should consider what? That is equality. That is, should consider or should think that we all are equal citizens of one nation, both in words, both in theory and in practice and in action. This involves mutual obligations between the state and the citizens and between citizens, not just in theory as of now but in actuality. This process involves mutual obligations. This involves that process, that secularization, that secular society. It involves mutual obligations, that is mutual commitment or mutual dedication or mutual obligations between the state and the citizens and between citizens. So should consider, or it involves mutual obligations between whom? Between the state and the citizens and between the citizens, not just in theory, not just in words or theory as of now, but in actuality. As of now means we all know that at present, yes, everything is existing only in words. That is, this society or some or governmental or most of the governmental organizations, yes, sometimes they are in the hands of these religious beliefs or dominance. So here our author is insisting that this process, that secularization, that involves a mutual obligation between the state and the citizens and between citizens, not just in theory or in words of now, but in actuality. Yes, it should make into practice. The relationship of other identities such as religion, caste, language and region will inevitably become secondary. She is insisting that the relationship of other identities, that is the religion, based on religion or caste or language and region, that will inevitably become secondary. That should consider only a secondary thing and should consider a secular society as a primary thing. That means mutual obligations between the state and the citizens and between citizens. We should consider that we all are equal citizens. Don't consider or don't identify yourself on the basis of religion, caste or language, and should all these identities should consider as secondary thing. These latter have to be adjusted so as to ensure that rights of citizenship together with what they entail remain primary. These identities, that is religion, caste, language and region, that is these latter have to be adjusted so as to ensure that rights of citizenship, so as to make sure or ensure that rights of citizenship together with what they entail. Entail means yes, remain or involve as a necessary, inevitable part of that system. What they entail remain primary. Eventually, the state will not be expected to support any religious organization. Slowly, eventually after that, the state will not be expected to support any particular religious organization, even though it is currently supporting. So, that is, we people should think like that. What is the thing? What is that point? Here she is insisting that if you want a secular society, first we should stop ourselves identifying on the basis of religion, caste, language, region, etc. and try to establish a mutual obligations between the state and the citizens and between citizens. And the relationship of either other identities such as religion, caste, language, and that should consider only as secondary. Then slowly the state will not be expected to support any particular religious organization, even those it is currently supporting. I would like to begin by trying to explain what I mean by the terms secular, secularism, and secularizing. Yes, she, that is our writer, Romila Thapar, she would like to begin by trying to explain what I mean by the terms secular. Here she starts her lecture by explaining three terms, that is secular, secularism, and secularizing. Let us look into the meaning of these three terms. What is the difference between secular, secularism, and secularizing? Secular is that which relates to the world and is distinct from the religious. Secular is that which relates. Which relates means establish or make a connection or show a connection. So secular, the term secular is that which relates to the world, that establish a connection with the world, relates to the world, and is distinct, that is clearly separate from the religious. That is the meaning of the term. That is the definition our writer has given to that particular term secular. Secular is that which relates to the world and is clearly distinct or clearly separate from the religious. It is not based on any religious belief or organization. It is that which relates to the world, that is secular. Then secularism, it involves questioning the control that religious organizations have over social institutions. Second term is secularism. Secularism, it involves questioning the control that religious organizations have over social institutions. We all know that these religious organizations, they played a definite role in our society. And sometimes these religious organizations exercised their power over governmental as well as non-governmental organizations or other social institutions in our society. So here Romila Thapar, she is emphasizing that this, yes, secularism, it involves questioning the control that religious organizations have over social institutions. She is insisting or she is emphasizing that our society should free from all types of religious dominance or religious control, or should avoid the colonial view of religion. So secularism involves questioning the control that religious organizations have over social institutions. And this term social institution, it includes government, state, then governmental as well as non-governmental organizations, etc. So government or state or these governmental or non-governmental organizations, it is for what? It is for the well-being of the whole society. It is existing for the betterment of the whole society, irrespective of any religion, caste, language, region, or something like that. So it should free from all types of colonial view of religion. That means any type of religious power or exercise of religious dominance, etc. So secularism, it involves questioning the control that religious organizations have over social institutions. This is sought to be justified by arguing that it ensures morality. And these organizations, they try to justify this process. This is sought to be justified by arguing that these religious organizations, it ensures morality. But the morality fundamental to secularism goes beyond any single religion and extends to the functioning of the entire society. Yes. But the morality that is fundamental to secularism, that goes beyond any single religion. I already told you that these governmental or non-governmental organizations should free from all types of religious beliefs or exercise of such powers, etc., because it is for the betterment of the whole society. So morality fundamental to secularism, it goes beyond any single religion or any single group of people, or based on any single belief or something like. It goes beyond any single religion and extends to the functioning of the entire society. It is for the betterment or the well-being of the entire society, whole society. So secularism, it involves questioning the control that religious organizations have over social institutions. Secularism does not deny the presence of religion in society. That means, yes, here she is emphasizing that it does not deny the presence of religion in society, but demarcates. That means clearly define that limitations, or clearly separates, but or limit the power of these religious organizations, but demarcates the social institutions over which religion can or cannot exercise control. So secularism does not deny the presence of religion. Yes, it is a part of our society that religions or religious beliefs. Yes. So secularism, that doesn't mean the denial of the presence of religion in society, but definitely or clearly limits its power or its dominance over social institutions, or but demarcates or separates the social institutions over which religion can or cannot exercise control. That is the meaning of that term secularism. It doesn't mean any denial of religion, but clearly separate or limit the dominance of religious institutions. This distinction is fundamental. And finally, secularizing is the process by which society changes. And the third term, secularizing, it is the process by which society changes and recognizes the distinction. Finally, society should understand, and it is a process by which society changes and recognizes that distinction between, yes, that uh, religious organization, their power, and this secular society. So these are the three important terms that she is trying to define here in this chapter. That is secular, secularism, and secularizing. Please note these terms. It is important for 1 mark question. What do you mean by secular? Yes, secularism and secularizing. Please note the difference between these three terms. And I think all of you understand the introductory part of this chapter. Students, there is a homework for you, and please note down the questions and write your answers. How does Thapar explain the term secular? Second one, is secularism a denial of religion? And the third one, according to the author, what do we first need to do if we want to be part of a secular society? Please note down these questions and write your answers, and take an image of it and send back to me. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you again.